Hello, or bonjour, as my friend Charles Boisett would say, as today we are talking about some of his wines. For those of you who don't know who John Charles is, he is the founder of the Boisett Collection. He comes from a French viticultural family. His family bought a winery in Burgundy in 1961. He later moved to the United States and started his own wine empire. At this point, some of his wineries include Deloche Vineyards, Raymond, which you may be familiar with because I've talked about them in the past. What else? Leith was his first vineyard. And then, of course, Buena Vista, which is what we're going to talk about today. I have two wines from Buena Vista, two of the Winemakers Cuvees. They were made specifically for us in my store, Triple B Liquors, Bayonne, in case you're not aware. Yeah, so, he makes some great wines. Very eccentric, married to the lovely Gina Gallo, bringing together two great wine families. So if you're not familiar with their wines, you should be, because they make some wonderful stuff, from sparkling to amazing Cabernets, which we'll talk about in a moment. They make some delicious stuff. Pinot Noir, Deloche especially, a lot of organic products coming out of Deloche. Just some amazing wines overall. All right, so here's to John Charles and 10 years of owning Buena Vista. So this weekend, May 8th, 2021, if you're watching this in the future, they're celebrating owning Buena Vista for 10 years. And to celebrate that, here at iHeart Wine, I'm going to be talking about two of their wines. We have the Buena Vista Chardonnay. Okay, the Winemakers Cuvee Chardonnay. It's a 2018 from Carneros. And this is the 2019 Cabernet from Sonoma County. Alright. So just going to give them a quick rundown here. Let's talk about Buena Vista in general for a moment. It is California's first premium winery, established in 1857 by the Count of Buena Vista. He came over from Hungary, apparently a little eccentric personality, much like today's owner. He decided that Carneros was a wonderful spot to set up a winery. It does get fog and wind, comes up the Petaluma Gap, cools off the vines at night. It gives them for a longer growing season. The diurnal temperature is pretty dramatic there. For those of you who are not aware, that's the difference between the daytime temperature and the nighttime temperature, and the gap between them. So let's say it's 100 during the day and 50 at night. That diurnal temperature would be 50. It's the gap between the two of them. All right. So the bigger that gap, as long as it doesn't get frost, the better for the grapes. So you're getting the high temperatures during the day to increase the sugar production, cool temperatures at night so the vine can rest and relax, and have a longer period to grow the grapes. All right, so that is why that's a great spot for wine. It's why the Count picked it all the way back in 1857. Today, again, owned by John Charles and his winemaking team. The Chardonnay, all right, again, Carneros, very, has a nice crisp acidity. I tasted this already. You can tell there's not much left to it here. All right, so I'm just going to give you the notes on this one. It's crisp acidity, rich apple. Traditionally, when we're talking about Chardonnay, lemon, apple, pear, your initial flavors that you're talking about most of the time. This is a very rich apple and a little bit of pear as well. Almost like a baking kind of apple. All right. Buttery notes like popcorn and some toastiness on the end, some vanilla from the barrel. I believe it's aged 15 months in French oak, so you're going to get a lot of that butteriness going on. You would compare this to your Rombauers, your Ornientes, some really high-end Chardonnays in this category, but this is not. I mean, well, it is high quality, but not a high price. You're gonna find this around 20 bucks. It is 20 bucks in Triple B Liquors, my store. But if you go elsewhere, you should find it around that same price. Great value. You really can't beat that, making a tremendous Chardonnay. All right, let me take a sip of wine here. Wet my whistle a little bit before I go on to the next one. Delicious. Okay, and that is, of course, the Buena Vista Winemakers Cuvee from Sonoma. For those of you who are, again, not aware, Sonoma is slightly west of Napa. The wines there, especially the Cabernets, tend to be a little more on the earthy side. But this really isn't. If I had to, I've heard some people say Buena Vista is like a baby Camus. All right, so again, right in that same kind of juicy quality of wine that you're very familiar with coming out of Napa, but at a much more reasonable price. Again, $19.99 on the shelf. You really can't beat that. Camus nowadays is $90, $80 to $90 on the shelf here in New Jersey. $19.99. How can you even compare the two? But you can, because this is delicious. All right, Sonoma Cab. This one I'll actually taste for you here. There's a blackberry, some cherry, some chocolate hints in there. A little baking spice, maybe some cloves, and like a touch of eucalyptus mintiness on the nose. Some soft, juicy tannins. A little more grippy towards the finish, but nothing crazy. Again, for a 2019, you would really expect those tannins to be a lot harsher. They're not. Very high acidity. Go great with a nice fatty steak, something like a ribeye. Deliciousness. Again, the blackberry and cherry follow from the aroma onto the palate. Again, pay no attention to the dog in the background if you can hear that. All right. The chocolate as well follows onto the palate. A nice peppery spice note at the end with a nice long finish. Okay. Yeah, delicious. Okay. Summary: two great wines celebrating 10 years of Boisett Collection and JCB owning the Buena Vista Winery this week and all month long. If you're in that area, go ahead and check them out. If not, come by the store, pick up a bottle, celebrate along with them, and enjoy. Really can't beat these. All right. Until next time, I hope you heart your wine as much as I do. Have a great day.